So, according to author Tamika Council, it's not Caitlin Clark that's making the WNBA more popular. It's Asia Wilson and Angel Reese. Hello, everybody, and welcome to our channel. I'm Mark.
And I'm Rob.
So, hey, if you haven't subscribed to our channel yet, please do so. Hit the notification bell when you do so you get notified of our next video. And Caitlin Clark's crossovers every Monday and Thursday, 6 to 7, and 5:30, 6:30, Monday and Thursdays, respectively, Eastern Time, except for major holidays. It's like a sports reporters forum with guest podcasters. And we're going to do the WNBA draft after that on Monday night, Rob. So Rob's going to be working, but I'll be doing the draft. So I have no idea who this woman is. I've never heard of it. It's one of those women that like to do things from, I guess, the black perspective. Is that best? That's the best label I can put on,
Who's the
Rob.
one that said
Sorry,
that? The black perspective. I forgot who said that. The black perspective. I forgot what
I don't know what else to
person.
call it. Let's start with who the author is. Tamika Council, I guess. PhD is a communication professor at the University of Washington who covers the business of black representation. She has more than a decade of experience researching, teaching, and writing about black commercial culture. It's my understanding that usually the author does not choose the heading for a particular article. But here's the heading: How Angel Reese and Asia Wilson lead the WNBA's growth.
So I mean, if she doesn't pick the title, I mean, or the heading, right there, kind of like this, I'd be like, wait a minute, what are you talking about?
So the article starts out with Paige Beckers expected to join the list of first overall picks in the upcoming 2025 WNBA draft. Such an accomplishment would put the University of Connecticut guard, now an NCAA champion, in the company of Caitlin Clark. A record-setting 2.4 million viewers tuned into last year's draft when the University of Iowa guard was selected first overall by the Indiana Fever. Now, I think the author forgets that as we go along here, but okay, I just the
Yeah,
2.4
yeah,
million
she does.
record
Well,
viewers.
yeah, she does.
Beckers and Clark are the kind of players that force opposing teams to level up their game. However, on-court performance is only one of the factors that contributes to the WNBA's growth in the contemporary influencer economy. Now, I just want to point out before she even gets into this that so far there's been no indication that influencers on Instagram and things of that nature translate to ticket sales and TV viewership. Because if they
Right.
did, Angel Reese would be number one and Caitlin Clark would not be number one.
I don't think she'd be ranked even. She might be ranked maybe fifth.
Well, it says with more than 5 million Instagram followers between them, Beckers 2.2 million and Clark 3.1 million are among the biggest brands in a new era of visibility in women's basketball. There's just one player whose social media surpassed them both, Angel Reese. And how did she become
Now
popular,
she's
Rob?
no.
How did she
Well,
become
Mark, wait a
popular?
minute. Now, well, Mark, wait a minute. Now that's the only correct thing about the article. Yeah, Angel Reese is in social media. Angel Reese is the highest. She's correct on that point.
I want to point out before we get to her numbers, before the game with LSU in Iowa, people didn't know who Angel Reese was, and she only had 600,000 followers. After she did the ring thing and the Now You See Me thing in Caitlin Clark's face and stalked her and gloated, she went up from 600,000 to 1.3 million almost overnight. So I just want to point that out. And then she continued to grow after that as she entered the WNBA. Reese's
Right.
4.8 million Instagram followers with another 5.5 million on TikTok. Endorsement deals and content creation show that black women, including more like Asia Wilson and Candace Parker, are still, I'll just emphasize that, at the forefront of the WNBA's growth as an entertainment brand. Wrong. Wrong, wrong, wrong.
Yeah.
Caitlin Clark
Wrong.
is at the
Wrong.
forefront. End of conversation, Rob.
Yeah. Mark. She sounds like our buddy from ESPN, Monica McNutt, who said that she based Rookie of the Year on how many wins that they have. That they have. That's what it seems like.
She's our buddy now? I didn't know that. Before we go on, Rob, I want to point out how I think the breakdown of why the WNBA is growing. To me, it's 90% Caitlin Clark, 4% Angel Reese, 1% the league itself is growing because it was only growing a little bit, despite what they tell you. And then 5% to Asia Wilson, Nafisa Collier, Kelsey Plum, Sabrina Ionescu, and Brianna Stewart. They each get 1%. That's why I think it was growing. Do you think that's fair, Rob, what I just said?
I think it's yeah. I think you should just stop at 90%. This is 90% and everybody else. That's what you should just do. It's 90%
That's
and
fine. I'm just breaking, but I'm
everything
giving
else.
Angel Reese more credit because she has brought more attention to the league because she's more active. And I think Asia Wilson has not helped at all, really, but I gave her 1% anyways because I think her personality sucks and most people don't like her personality. None of the new fans do. Let's put it that way.
Yeah,
So,
yeah. So yeah, I mean, I mean, 90% definitely. Right? I believe that it was Caitlin Clark.
so her statement are still at the forefront of the WNBA's growth as an entertainment brand is false. Again, it doesn't matter about endorsements or it doesn't matter about social media. What matters is ticket sales and TV viewership because that's where they get the money. And Caitlin Clark increased hers like by what was it 14,000, and Angel Reese only increased their attendance by 1,500 per game. And Asia
And
Wilson,
how and Mark also and how they play. So Caitlin Clark is definitely she's rookie of the year. She broke all these records, assist records, and ever, and that's how she plays and how she's bringing in people who've never ever watched the WNBA, are watching not because are watching her to see
right?
how she's doing.
And 21 out of the 24 games that had a million views had to do with Caitlin Clark. And a couple had the Aces, but none had the Sky without when they weren't playing the Fever. So Angel
Right.
Reese was not bringing in viewership. She was not bringing in attendance, Rob. That's all there is to it. So you can't say
I don't
that's
know.
increasing the league's popularity unless it gives you ticket sales or TV viewership.
I don't know any other player in that league last year who had to have their venues changed to a larger arena except for Caitlin Clark.
Well, I don't think it's ever happened before in the history of the league. It's my understanding, Rob. And now,
Hmm.
so far, half the teams have already decided next year they had to go to big arenas. And probably the only reason the other half haven't is because they have a big enough arena or because they don't have a big enough arena to go to. But any of the ones that have a smaller arena have all switched already, Rob. I'll go on.
Right.
Clark is undoubtedly part of the reason. I just have to laugh at that. I just told you it was 90%. It's not that's not part of the reason. That's
No,
the
that's not.
main reason. Okay. Anyways, part of the reason why the WNBA broke multiple viewership and attendance records. No, Caitlin Clark's Indiana
No.
Fever broke multiple viewership and attendance records. Okay, all right. During the
Right. Just look at.
2004
I mean,
season,
the break. Did she even look and see the breakdown of what how the attendance was from year to year?
no, that doesn't fit her agenda, Rob. The Rookie of the Year played in both games that became the most watched WNBA matches ever aired on ABC and helped the Indiana Fever set a new single season home attendance record of 340,715 fans. She also set a new single season record in assists and was among the league's top 10 scorers. But in the WNBA's new era of visibility, some of the best brands grow in more than one space.
Wait, what's this new visibility? What is this like? All of a sudden, this they always have to put that. But
The WNBA also reported record high engagement via its app and social media platforms, a space where stars like Reese dominate. I've already covered that. And Rob, endorsements. Caitlin Clark has as many endorsements as she wants. Yes, Asia Wilson and now Angel Reese are getting good endorsements and they're getting a lot of them. But Caitlin Clark can have as many as she wants. She's just turning them down. She's just
right,
picking and choosing which one she wants. So, John, I want to point that
right,
out. She's like Michael Jordan. Michael Jordan just took so many of them. He didn't want to, be everywhere, and he didn't want to take them all. Anyways, it goes on. Angel, who became the league's all-time leader in consecutive double doubles last year, put that in there. Also extended her reach into fashion and podcasts. She officially announced her plans to enter the draft in an interview with Vogue and launched Unapologetically Angel in partnership with Playmaker HQ and Shaquille O'Neal's The Big Podcast Network last September. Woo! Yes. And guess what, Rob? That podcast got him no views and got him no seats in,
right,
as far as I can tell. We'll
right.
see. We'll see this
Exactly.
year because we'll see what happens, what the ticket sales are for the Chicago Sky. But they're not even going to be as good as next year, Rob. I have a feeling their ticket sales aren't going to be any good.
The
Reese's
sky? No.
brand blossomed before her professional career began. Despite being selected 6 spots behind Clark in the 2024 draft, Reese entered the league with a portfolio of deals with household names like Reebok, Calvin Klein, and Pepsi Company. The Chicago Sky
She's
forward, what was that?
sorry, Mark. She's more focusing on she on what the advertising. She's not focusing on the play of the player and the draw. I mean, and then she put an influence. What did Reese influence? What kind of influence did Reese have on the league?
She's
I mean, she did.
influencing brand recognition and stuff like that, but she's not influencing seats or viewership.
No,
So it's
no,
irrelevant. You could have a billion people following you on Instagram. If they don't watch the games or buy tickets, it's irrelevant. It doesn't make the WNBA more popular because the whole purpose of becoming popular for a league is for them to make money. They don't make
right,
money on Reese's social media accounts or her endorsements.
right.
So,
She does, but they don't.
right. So it doesn't matter how popular she is in that. All it means is she's making money. That's all it means. It doesn't mean
Right,
she's making the WNBA popular.
right.
Okay, the Chicago Sky Forward is one of the figures facilitating the WNBA's entry into niche markets. Black women founded hair company Malai announced Angel Reese as a brand ambassador 2 months before it announced its partnership with the WNBA in
Who,
July
Mark,
2023.
Mark, who cares? What does this? What does this have to do with anything? So what? So what?
And in January 2025, McDonald's announced that Reese would become the first female athlete to have her own branded meal. Ooh, wow. That sells tickets. Yeah. Like Reese, other women's basketball champions are also growing their brands beyond the sport. And then I can't go on anymore with this, but it goes
No,
into because it talks about Candace Parker, and she's not even in the league anymore. So I don't even know how that counts. But it talks about Asia Wilson a little bit. It does talk about ticket sales. I'll read that paragraph. While ticket sales, viewership, and media rights deals are the metrics often cited in the debate over the value of women's basketball as an enterprise, often cited as in the debate. There's no debate. That's
often
where they make their money.
that's, that's the bottom line, Mark. They make the money that way, not on freaking whether a player gets endorsements from McDonald's or whether they get endorsements from Pepsi or Gatorade. That has nothing to do with the league. That's the players getting the money. They're not. It's not causing people to. Oh, geez, I saw her on a Gatorade commercial. I guess I'll go watch the WNBA now.
But Rob, it goes on. It says players like Reese point the way towards an alternative growth trajectory, one driven by viral content and audience engagement. Audience engagement is irrelevant on social media, again, unless they're buying tickets and going and watching the games on TV, which they're not for Angel Reese. And even for Asia Wilson, even though she did get a couple games over a million, the Aces are a popular team. She's not the only star in that team. So that's not even true. I mean, Kelsey Plum was on the team too, and she's a big star also in terms of fan favorite.
Right.
So I don't know what to
Uh,
say, Rob.
it's,
Which one? It's a
I
spin
mean,
and a half here.
you got your PhD. That's fantastic, but I mean, and promoting Black women. But the main thing is that she's totally wrong about as far as, and the whole thing is these people that try to down Caitlin Clark. The first thing they always mention about how well she did, and then they say, but wait a minute, you just mentioned she broke this record. She broke this record. So how could she not be an influence and better than the person you want to build up? I don't understand their theory. I'm flabbergasted.
I don't understand how she
If you word
avoided
for it.
the issue. She didn't address the issue, Rob, that I
Mm,
pointed out several times. That is not ticket sales, it's not TV viewership. It doesn't make the league any money. So, well, again, she didn't choose the title, but she chose the article. And she probably didn't choose. Lead the way to the WNBA's growth. That's not helping the league grow unless they buy tickets and watch the things. It's not helping them grow because it doesn't give them money. It just gives them more
right.
brand awareness.
They always refer if she wasn't that much of an influence, why do you include Caitlin Clark? Why don't you just have the whole article and not even include anything about Caitlin Clark?
Well, because they had to acknowledge some of it, Rob. Otherwise, it looked really bad. I mean, it already looks bad enough, but to not even mention
Yeah,
Caitlin Clark. I mean, they've done it before. Not authors like this, but they've done it before. We know there was a WNBA X podcast or something and had a 45-minute discussion of Rookie of the Year and did mention Caitlin Clark. I watched a podcast after they got the charter flights, Rob, and they talked about the increased revenue in the charter flights, and they went 14 and a half minutes without saying Caitlin Clark's name. So they've done it before.
Right.
They've not mentioned Caitlin
Yeah.
Clark or the rookie class, stuff like that.
Yeah. The rookie class. Yeah.
So, anyways, it's a joke. I'm glad that she's getting behind the black women in certain ways, but at the same time, she has to be with reality in terms of when she writes an article, because you're a journalist. It has to be objective. It has to be credible, and this is
I
incredible.
mean, she did partial research, but then but after that she would put the little asterisk. Yeah, Caitlin Clark. But Angel Reese has Pepsi. And what does that have to do with what you're talking about? Your article. You've totally gotten away from what your point is.
If you're writing an objective article, this is what you write. Angel Reese is kicking butt on social media and with endorsements, but so far that hasn't transferred into money for the league because their ticket sales only went up 1,500 last year, and that was between her and another rookie, Camila Cardoza. And viewership, they don't do well unless they go against the Fever. So people aren't watching her there either. That's what she should have said.
Mark,
That's what she should have said, Ron, in the article. That's what an objective article would say.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. But we forgot, Mark. Let's see. How many Fever games are being broadcast this year?
Well, as of right now, it's 41 out of 44. But two of those, I just found out last night, are also on ESPN3, but they're not nationally televised because ESPN3 is not on a lot of homes right now.
Mm-hmm.
So if you have ESPN3, you can actually get 43 out of 44.
I have ESPN3, so I'll be able to watch it. Yeah, which is cool.
Okay. All right. So, anyways, that's my story, and I'm sticking to it. Rob,
Yeah.
I'm cool with tribalism if it doesn't carry over to the point where it's not reality, and this does. And if it's not reality, I consider it racist. This is a racist article to downplay the influence of Caitlin Clark and overstate the influence of Angel Reese and Asia Wilson. That's all there is to it.
I think it's not a well thought out. Like you said, that's what the top. So a teacher gives you a topic, and then you start writing about the topic, but then you start going off on what has nothing to do with the topic. That's what she did. And so it's not well. If you're going to be a writer, or like you said, be objective, stick to be objective about what the topic you're following, and don't try to build up another part of it, which makes no sense. This makes you look dumb.
The problem is the fact they didn't even talk about jersey sales, and the sales of the basketballs by Caitlin Clark. If we talk about those, that even more shows popularity to the WNBA. Again, that doesn't necessarily translate to people showing up in the arena, but in this particular case, it does, and they show up in the arena with the jerseys on.
Right? Didn't when this guy played the Fever? Weren't the people coming up to Clark and it was Angel Reese? I think it was Angel Reese.
Barbie Day or something.
Yeah. Didn't they the fans were like, oh, we want Caitlin Clark's signature? Like, wait a minute, it's my day. No.
I like it. I like when it's Barbie Day and then the little black girls come up and ask for Caitlin Clark's autograph.
Right. Exactly.
In Chicago.
Yeah.
See, because they don't care about race. This author does.
Yeah.
I don't care about race. This author does. Angel Reese does. Asia Wilson does.
The league does. The league does.
And a lot of ESPN, most of ESPN does, and a lot of other people on social media and also on some of the other networks like NBC. I'm not going to mention her name, but they care about race. And if they would just stop looking at Caitlin Clark like she's white and just like a basketball player, you'd have more objectivity and honesty in terms of media coverage and promotion.
Right. It's just like it reminds me of the musical South Pacific. You've got to be taught. So you've got to be taught to hate, to learn to hate. So, and she's done nothing. She's done nothing as far as to cause people to hate her. But that's why that really bothers me. That's
Rob,
really,
we don't
really
hate
bothers
her.
me.
We don't hate her, Rob. We hate her fans. We don't hate her. We hate her fans. And we didn't target her. This is all rookie, just regular rookie initiation.
Mm-hmm.
We don't hate her. That's all this is, Rob.
Because
I don't
hate
know why are
just
you making this stuff up.
yeah, exactly. Why? Where's this coming from? It's okay. It really is okay if we have someone who's not black that's representing. She's representing the WNBA. She's representing the league, and she's making money for the league. She's building up the league. She's helping the players. Why can't you put emphasis on that? They don't.
No, what's interesting is, Rob, they're being really impatient because given that the league is, I don't know, because the figure can change every year. Let's say 70% black. And there's a lot of great black players in the history of the WNBA. A lot of great black athletes that do really well at basketball. So it's just a matter of time before not only a great black player comes around, but a great black player is also an exciting player. It's just a matter of time, even if it's an imitation of Caitlin Clark's style of play. It's going
Right.
to happen. So eventually you're going to get a really popular black athlete in the WNBA. It's just going to happen just by numbers alone. So
Right.
just be patient. It's not going to happen the next year in college because the number one recruit is Mexican, but they're not going to promote her because she's Mexican and not black.
Yeah, I
That's
can't
the way
have
the job
that.
is.
Oh
I'm
no,
not
definitely can't
saying
have
she's
that.
definitely going to be the best player, but she's probably going to be the most exciting that comes into the class next year. But she's not black, so they're not going to promote her.
Yeah, they can't have that. Can't have that, Mark.
Can't have that. She's only Mexican. That's not
Yeah.
dark enough, Rob.
No,
It's only light
yeah,
brown. It's not black.
light brown.
Oh gosh. I can't wait to see how ESPN treats her next
This,
year, Rob.
this,
I'm
like
really
this.
curious because I get a feeling that she's going to be very good and very exciting. Not Caitlin Clark exciting, but very good and very exciting. And I just curious if they're going to push her or not.
Well, they didn't put Hidalgo, so do you think they're
I
going to
know
push?
what Hano Doggo also did that, liking of the tweet that hurt her a little bit, but also they don't think Hano Doggo's skills are going to translate in the WNBA because she's only 5'6", so they didn't
Hmm,
push her as much. They
right.
think, Juju Watkins is 6'2", her skills are going to translate. She's a great athlete. That's the reason why, and we all know why.
Yeah.
So we'll see what happens next year. And I hope they promote everybody, regardless of their race. That's what I want from this. I don't think I'll get it, but that's what I would like. All right, let us know what you think down below. If you like this video, hit the like button. Feel free to share it with your family, friends, and acquaintances. And if you haven't subscribed to our channel yet, we're going for 7,000 subscribers. We're getting close. We need your help.
Yeah,
Hit
keep it
that
going.
notification bell when you do. You get notified of our next video. And we got to take this opportunity to thank all our loyal listeners. And hopefully we'll get more as the Caitlin Clark season begins on May 3rd. We're going to go live for all the games that we can get on TV. Okay, so
Yeah,
even
definitely appreciate it. Coming
definitely
into our live things are very nice. We get the same people in there. Totally
yeah.
appreciate it.
Yeah. Thank you very much for your support. And by the way, Rob, we missed our anniversary celebration, and
Oh no.
I'll have to take responsibility for that because I kind of knew the date. I knew it was April 5th or 7th. Our first video went up last year, April 5th of 2024. That
Ah,
was our first. Our second video went up April 7th, and so we missed the anniversary and we didn't celebrate it. So I'm gonna announce that today. This is our 1 year anniversary. Just happened a couple days ago.
should have broke up my Ripple, man.
Good. I should have at least broke open some scotch or something.
Yeah, got my vodka. Get my vodka here.
So we want to say thank you for 1 year of support to all our loyal listeners. Some have been there since the very beginning.
Yeah.
So, anyways, all right. So we appreciate it. That's all I want to say. And if you want, you can join us for Caitlin Clark's crossover. It's every Monday and Thursday from 6 to 7 on Mondays and 5:30 6:30 on Thursdays. It's Eastern time except for major holidays. It's like a sports reporter site forum with guest podcasters. And if you want, you can donate to the channel with super chats and super thanks down below. Good time to donate because it's our 1 year anniversary. And there's
Yeah.
also a link to PayPal. And we'll see you in the next video.
Peace out.